is the hole where we've just come into this wood, and the first thing we see is this pinned down branch, and then this cross or asterisk. Quite interesting. There's also that look just there. So we're just on the very edge and just about to make our way in. Rob's found a Y stick. Oh, look at that. Now that's quite interesting, isn't it? I mean, I know it's probably just fallen out of a tree, but look, at the base of it is that.
I'm behind you.
Then you've got that Y stick, which is peeled or rubbed away, so it looks pale, so it really stands out. And then behind me,
don't know if that's anything or not, but
we've got all this like tree stuffing again,
and there's another
which is interesting.
through there.
And there's a cross thing.
Just there.
Oh yeah, through there as well, look. And again, we think we see these things on the edges of woodland because possibly they're way markers, sign markers, indications to possibly the wild man of, you know, go this way or don't go this way or follow this trail, or, you know, through here is some water or something to eat or lots of deer. I don't know. But it's curious that we do find them along the edges. Now maybe that's just because along the edges the trees are more susceptible to the wind, so more things get blown down and make these shapes. Or is it because when you come into a wood you can see them straight away, so then you know where to go? No idea. This is quite interesting. So I spotted this and came over to have a look to see if it was pinned. But you see how it's got these sort of things, look almost like they've been woven in. It comes up like that and around. And it's well fixed in there. Now, I'm not sure how that happens in a natural setting. We've also got a break there, but again, that could have just fallen down out of the tree. And then under here, we've got another little flurry. So there's a break there, but it's all quite old, look. It's not got any leaves on it, so that could have just broken quite naturally. And then we've got this here. So could this be another sign showing you that you're meant to go that way to get out, or you're meant to go this way somehow to carry on? I don't know. And then there's a lena there, another lena there. Don't know. So Rob spotted this fresh break here, but it is a very old and dead piece of tree, so that could have happened for any reason. We can't say that was anything in particular. It's a nice little bit of wood because it's nice and open. It's got plenty of grass in it, which is unusual. Normally when we're in the woods it's all ivy or dead leaves. Not been in one with lots of grass on the ground, so I'm assuming that there's tons of deer in here because it's sheltered and shady and quiet, and there's plenty of stuff for them to eat and plenty of places for them to hide. Just hope we don't run into a wild boar. Now we're coming over to have a look at this big floating branch to see what's going on there. Again, it looks very old and it's just snapped off. It's got ivy on it, so that may have helped it snap. So we've walked now to the other side of the wood. It's not very far, maybe 500 or 600 metres. And on the far end, just beyond Rob, is where the field starts again. And now we've noticed that there's a set of leaners. There's one there. And there's one over there. And there's another one over there. And we're kind of thinking, well, does that indicate that you go this way, you know, through the wood to move on to the next bit? We found this quite interesting. We've just climbed out of the wood, which is in there, into this field, because we thought the road was over there, but it's a bit further on. But coming back to climb back in to go back to the wood, we've just noticed this. So there's a piece of wood here that's holding down the barbed wire so that you can climb over it more easily. So, now who did that? A human, possibly, or someone else? Don't know. We're just coming back to come out of the wood, and look at this. It's on a little game trail that we've been following, but this is white. Now all the bark's come off it because I'm supposing something has been walking on it. Now, deer and boar and rabbits and things wouldn't walk on it, they would just hop over it. So it just strikes us as funny. We've come back out, we're almost at the road, and we've got a floating log and a cross, and that shows how to get out in that direction, out of the wood. Now, is that just my bias making me think that that's what I'm seeing, or is it some kind of sign language to show the way? Don't know. I need to see a wild man actually making one of these things, and then I'll know for sure. So we're in another little section of woodland. We've just come in through there, which was like a natural opening. Now this one is completely different to the other one. It's got this sort of ivy stuff on the ground. There's no grass at all. The trees, no brambles. The trees are much older, thicker and wider on the trunk. So we can see that they're a lot older. Yeah, there's some stuff over there we'll look at in a second. But look, we just spotted this. So Rob's going to give it a pull and see if it's just been poked in the ground. Yeah.
That much.
So 6 inches. Now, did that fall out of a tree?
Not at that angle, you wouldn't have thought. Don't know.
See, there's a broken tree up there.
That's not the same.
It's not the same tree, okay. We can tell by the bark. Louis said we have to look at the bark and check. So this is this like a plane tree?
So look, if you look at that.
Oh, it is, isn't it the same, Rob? Look, it's got like that sort of camouflage pattern on it.
That there is much thicker.
Yeah. So
that is an angle.
So did it fall down, or did somebody poke that in the ground?
And this looks like it was still growing recently.
Right, so you think it's
That's
not
dead.
long
That's
dead.
Look,
right.
That's dead.
But that's bendy. It may have started growing again though, because it was poked in the ground.
I don't know.
There's a lot of stuff laying on the ground. lots of branches and things, but that's perfectly feasible. We've had 2 or 3 really massive storms, so these things could have just blown down out of the trees. So there's no evidence here that is of any significance. Is that parallel things on the ground? Don't know. Could this have been a seat? Don't know. Don't know anything. Don't know now. Oh look, there's a nice A-glyph there, see? Is that just my bias? Is that just a coincidence? Oh look, there's another shape. That's like a box shape. There, that's quite interesting. Oh, big pinned arch, Rob says. Let's have a look. Oh gosh, it's a lot easier to walk in this wood than it was in the other one. Another one of those floating branches there. And they're really interesting because you can see them from so far away, because nothing else is in that position in the wood. Everything else is poking up, whereas this is poking across. It makes it really stand out. Now, was that pinned by that fell down?
Yeah, but whether it just fell down.
Did it fall down out of a tree, or did someone come along and pin it? There it is. It's a huge one. It goes all the way over there. And oh look, what a surprise. There's a Lena right next to it. Why does that always happen? Who can explain that to me? Find a pinned arch, you find a Lena. Although, you go in the woods, you find wood. Is that it? Hang on, Rob's found a bit more. Let's go and see. This is what Rob spotted and what we were looking at. So we've got all these laying down interconnected logs, which we find often, but then you would if things were falling out of the trees. But look at this. This is quite interesting. So this one goes through the middle of these 2 trees, but leaned up against that is this massive log, and then a smaller one, but I've no idea. Is that
part of that?
Ah, so maybe this
That
big
fell
one
over.
fell over
Caught
there,
back in
then that one snapped off the end of it because it got caught in the tree. But then how did these 2, this one and this one, get
2 the other
underneath
side.
it? That's the weird thing.
They're already there.
But this bit to me, Rob, it feels just like a wallow. It really does. Yeah, maybe it is just a fallen down tree. I know. You see, why is that underneath the leaves? Although maybe that was there before and the leaves then just grew. But you see, is that different wood?
I think that's different wood.
Is
but I
that
don't
different wood to this tree? It's so hard to tell when it's a different thickness, because as it gets older and changes the girth, it changes shape and colour. And we're not naturalists. We do try our best. I just think it looks like a wallow. This wood is completely different. You're right, Rob. Very different from...
Half a kilometre away in exactly the same country.
Yeah, half a kilometre away in exactly the same countryside. But the wood feels completely different.
We'll get to see on the film how overgrown the other one was.
Yeah, oh look, there's a big break there. Up in that tree. Ooh, I think I can hear a beehive. That's nice.
Ready?
Oh, look at that. Another one stuck in the ground.
At an angle again, not
At an angle. Well, maybe they start off straight, Rob, and with the weather and the wind, they move to an angle.
Yeah, maybe.
But look at these interconnecting logs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or they've just fallen down out of the trees. And my bias is making me see things that don't exist. And how am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to be able to verify it unless I see a wild man actually sitting here eating his dinner?
In the ground here.
Rob's just found another one stuck in the ground. Let's have a look.
So we found what? 1 or 2 in
This
the
is the
last 5
third
years?
one.
In the last 5 years.
Oh, in the
so
last 5 years, how many have we found stuck
2,
in the ground?
maybe 3.
2 or 3. That's all. And in this wood, we're on
Number 3.
number 3, just in... Oh, how big is this little bit, Rob? It's not big, is it? An acre at the most.
Yeah, about an acre.
About...